What's up everyone, Jared here, and unfortunately I don't think this is going to be the final retail packaging, but at least you still get the phone, right? Anyways, I was pretty excited to receive the review unit and get cracking on the totally new design, which I'm in love with, and I think it looks awesome with the metal construction and slightly tapered top and bottom. It feels fantastic in the hand, but although it's metal, I have to be totally honest, it doesn't feel metal. Now, I'm not sure what grade of metal it is, but it's really soft. In fact, this review unit LG sent me already has some scratches on the back and some flaking of what appears to be a polished metal or a chrome border around the back edge, but I'm now thinking it's just cheap paint. And that's all sort of concerning for a review unit that's only been around for a few weeks. Like, I'm curious to see what it'll look like in just a few months. And more to that, the battery module portion, at least on mine, doesn't seem to be a flush fit. Like, I can fit a couple pieces of paper in the gap if I wanted to. So I'm not really digging the fit and finish so far. Anyways, speaker on the bottom along with a USB Type-C port and a 3.5mm port with an IR blaster on the top. And of course, everyone's favorite beloved microSD/SIM tray on the right. Now, LG's done away with rear volume buttons and actually moved them to the left side and replaced it with a fingerprint reader/power button. Now, I have to say, since coming from a Galaxy S6 with the fingerprint reader on the front, to a Nexus 6P with it on the back, and now to a Galaxy S7 with it on the front again, I really prefer it being on the back. It feels a lot more natural. But with that said, I've been having mixed results with the G5's fingerprint reader, at least with mine. Now, sometimes it seemed to work really well. Other times I can reapply my finger 5 times and it just won't budge. And that's with my setting the maximum amount of fingerprints all with my index finger, so there's no reason it should have been having issues, and I'm seriously hoping a software update solves that before retail launch. I'm actually starting to really dig the software UI. It looks much cleaner than it did on the G4, though I'm not a huge fan of them removing the app drawer. It's not a huge deal because there's so many home launchers replacements, so it's really a non-issue. Now, the G5 has a 5.3-inch Quad HD IPS LCD display, which to me is one of my favorite screen sizes, and it's super manageable in the hand, even though it doesn't have toothpick-sized bezels like the Galaxy S7 does. And with it being an IPS LCD display, lines are really sharp, but you are going to get stuck with LCD color reproduction. Not that there's anything wrong with LCD color, and I know there's folks out there who prefer LCD over AMOLED, but as time goes on, I really think what the people want, including myself, is AMOLED. Like, we don't want natural this or that. We're not color grading a bloody movie on our phones. We want punch, we want saturation, and we're just not going to get that with an LCD display. And there's also the new always-on display, which based on my limited testing is a little bit better than Samsung's iteration due to it having what I believe to be support for third-party apps. I also noticed that the maximum screen brightness, although sufficient in most circumstances, doesn't get nearly as bright as the Galaxy S7's display does. Now, I will need to test it more, but I think outdoor visibility is going to suffer a little. Performance has been snappy so far, but then again, I haven't really put it through its paces yet, though I am expecting it to fall in line with the Galaxy S7, but it'll be interesting to see how software optimization differences between the two companies' UIs affect overall performance. Now, the G5 comes with a removable 2800 mAh battery, 200 mAh less than the Galaxy S7. Will that make a huge difference in comparison? Maybe a little, but I think it's really going to come down to software optimization, like how does LG like to handle battery usage, for instance. So again, only further testing will give us the answers we need. And finally, the camera cluster, I guess you could call it, located on the back is totally different than anything LG's done before. First of all, for a cluster featuring 2 cameras, it actually leaves a smaller bump on the back than you'd think it would. And it actually helps prevent the phone from rocking if you want to type while lying on a flat surface. So we've got 16 and 8 megapixel cameras. The 16 megapixel camera is probably going to be your go-to camera for most shots, whereas the 8 megapixel camera is going to be for things like, I don't know, group selfies, maybe landscape shots, or if you're a realtor trying to trick potential buyers into thinking a room is twice as big as it really is, due to its crazy 135-degree field of view wide-angle lens. Anyways, I have to say the G5 is shaped up to be a really interesting phone, and I can't wait to dive in and get grimy testing things out even more. But that's it for this one. Stick around for the full review as well as a number of comparison videos I have planned. If you liked the video, do me a solid and hit that like button, and if you're new to my stuff, don't forget to subscribe. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.